Hail and Measures Kingdom, welcome to Wuchang Fallen Feathers. And this video is exactly what you clicked on. It's insane longsword build. Yeah, this build is amazing. So, why longsword? First of all, of course, we're basically starting with this big blade. Not with this exactly. We start with Cloudfrost edge, but basically idea and basic movesets is similar, basically the same in all longswords. And I instantly tried all different weapons in the game, and I just fall in love with longsword. It's so amazing, it's so cool. It got loads of mobility, insane aggression with loads of cool combinations, and some sneaky tactics to destroy every enemy in the game. One of the coolest part about longsword that is actually long. And this build will be for any longsword, so it's pretty flexible. Basically starter build, you may call it, but you can basically beat the game with it. So, what is an idea? We got nice reach, so we don't need to stay insanely close to enemy, unlike some other weapons. And let's check our moveset. So, quick attacks basically are 1. That's how it looks like. There is a combination of 5 attacks. We just slash and hack and stab, and that's it. Power attacks. You can do it like this, and it will be not combination, but you can spam it like noob Mortal Kombat player basically, and it's pretty fun. But greatest part about this attack actually is step back. Just look over here. She steps back and then lunges forward. But if you charge this attack, then you basically lunge back and then do this charged upward slash. And it's insanely cool and powerful slash. So with basic trash mobs you will speak like that, just go and slash them left and right. But if there's more powerful guys, you want this like charged attack, you want to stun them and then do critical strike. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So that's actually the secret and why I picked this build. What is most overpowered mechanic in the game, at least in my opinion? I would say it's stabbing and staggering enemies. When enemies unconscious, when they stunned, oh come on, it's so easy to like defeat them and do whatever we like. And that's basically what we can achieve with a longsword pretty easily. Thanks for one insanely cool part of our passive skill tree. So normally if you want to stun enemies, let me just disable this bro a little bit. He will be doing nothing right now. And look, this charge attack at the back is instant stun. Yeah. So basically when you attack enemy in the back, they stun, or at least they will be stunned a lot faster. That's the main idea. And that's what's so cool. This build comes online super fast, right from the get-go, right from the start of the game, and you're starting using this playstyle instantly. So we get first points that we will invest in Sword Sane. This will give us ability to accumulate Skyborn Might if we hit enemy with second basic attack. Skyborn Might is this new resource. Kinda new, it's just different. So it's the resource that we use as magic or as something that we need to cast our skills. And normally accumulating it requires you to make some perfect weight, stuff like that. But with sword you just need to make 2 attacks, 1 and 2. So I got one resource like that. Now I can use it to actually make quick charge attack, and that's the secret why this build is so cool. Normally it requires so much time to do this charge attack from the back, and there's no time when you try to do it with other weapons. They take so much time to load up. But when you first of all got this resource, then you can easily follow up with attack and quick charge attack. It just takes a lot less time to do it, and that's really crazy. Also, if you're not so perfect at dodging and stuff like that, this build will help you, because my main skill for weapon will be this, that will give us ability to dodge with extra window of invincibility, and that's pretty cool one. Basic rules to play like this is, of course, making sure you're landing second attack on enemy. You don't need to land first one, only second one, and after landing second attack you will get bunch of resource. Then we can use our skills, our magic, but we will use skills mostly, and skill of this weapon is also pretty cool. We just slash around ourselves and defeat every enemy. It helps a lot with crowd control if we are surrounded. Most of enemies, however, is solo. Then we can use this like crazy attack and run away. Sadly, it's hard to see animation, but it's fine. We basically lunge forward and then we lunge backwards if needed. or behind the back. This also helps a lot. So basically we start like this, we attack forward, jump behind the back of enemy sometime. It's just a little bit random. And then it's easy stun, because when you attack from the back, it's so easy to stun enemies. So what swords will work? And all of the swords will be from Act 1. Basically, as I told you, any sword will work. You start with Cloudfrost Edge and it's fine, it just will work. If you got pre-order deluxe bonus, something like this, you will have this Moonlight Dragon, and it's just a powerful weapon of normal sword. So most powerful stuff about this weapon is early damage. It will be a little bit higher than basic swords, but as you can see right now it's not too high. And also a pretty cool ability that will basically crowd control enemies around. It's got nice range, it's pretty cool, stuff like that, but it's just early game weapon for me. I switched to this sword, and you can find this sword later, basically when you reach Mercury Workshop. It's still Act 1, it's still super early in the game, and cool part about this sword, again, it's special ability, because you can change secondary ability of weapons. You can go into a shrine, into discipline. If you got your skills, you can change skills of your weapon, but only one skill. I really recommend learning combinations, because that's how you make and get all the benefits from skills. So it's double left tumbler followed by double right bumper. Basically, that's the combination. For full combination, we will need 3 magic points, Skyborn magic. And technically for this build will work any sword that scales with strength and agility. It's almost any sword in the game. To know how it's scaled, basically you need to look over here. When you're trying to change your weapon, when you're trying to equip your weapon, when you see this lotus, this flower, if there's numbers, Roman numbers I guess, then weapon scales with this. So for example, this sword scales with strength and agility with level 2, this sword scales a little bit better, that's why it gets higher damage overall. And every sword will have one unique skill and one skill that you can assign via discipline. So let's take a look at our skill that I assigned and actual leveling process. Overall, when you're just starting out, you want to invest 1 point over here in Skyborn Call, because every time you will find Forgotten Remembrance or Lost Remains, you can use it and you don't need to level up or do any weird stuff, and just get more mana flasks. Actually, it's just health flasks. There's no mana in this game, so just more flasks means you will survive more, and you just want to find this stuff and upgrade your flasks over here. And leveling for this build, again, it's super simple. We just invest first few points over here. At level 4 we get, at level 5 we get Vine Force, and that's it. Basically our playstyle is ready. Then there's a big beautiful nodes over here and small nodes will give basic passive points in some attributes. Vitality is for health, and endurance for stamina, strength and agility for our damage, because our sword will scale with strength and agility. When you're just starting out, you want to instantly go to the right side, get endurance, 1 more endurance, and follow along to Crescent Moon. There is Crescent Moon variant, which will give you a lot more damage with burn build-up when you get high madness. However, if you don't like to mess around with madness, with these clones that appear from nowhere when you die, and you want to be a little bit more safe, then go for Crescent Moon variant 1. It will add third attack to Crescent Moon skill when used with Skyborn Might, and that's what we want. We want to do 3 attacks and then launch backwards, get away from enemy. When you're using it with Skyborn Might, you will deal more damage with this skill, and also when you evade enemy attack with backward lunge, you will replace and regain Skyborn Might. So technically, if you do everything correctly, you can actually play only with this skill. So you just go forward and then evade attack, but these guys can't attack, so I can show it, but basically you can do it forever. If enemy is hard, if enemy is beefy, playstyle will look like this. You do 2 attacks and then rush backwards. So 1, 2, back, and that's it. And let's use our spell. So that's the spell I will use, and how to get it. You need to find 3 little guys, and destroy them. First one basically will be located right from the get-go. You will instantly see him on the road, and you just need to make few dashes, then you catch him and he's done. Now let me take a hit and take a look at my health. It's almost not touched. Yeah, because I got insanely high defense right now, and that's the magic I chosen for this build. We will focus more on sword skills, on evades, on fun gameplay, and not on the magic That's why magic I chose for the build is Divine Word, and it just reduces damage taken. The second bamboo piece will be near the cave, where you hear the dude inside. And the last one, the dude inside will give you. He's a stranger or something like that. After getting these pieces, just buy the skill from Panda, from Mr. Bo, Kung Fu Panda, and you're golden. When I fight bosses, I basically try to first of all get a little bit of skill points, then activate this ability, and then engage in close combat, since I'm taking a lot less damage and I can survive a lot more. And mostly I'm surviving a lot more thanks for basic skill tree again, because after getting this skill over here, Crescent Moon, instead of focusing on damage, and we can definitely do it, what you want to do early game, you want to go to the left, get Vitality, and whenever you get a red feather that upgrades weapons, just invest in any point. They're all the same, basically, that will give you more damage with long swords. Basically after it, we're going downwards and we will get a bunch of strength nodes, as well as this passive skill, Sword 7. Third attack in combination, in our light attack combination, will gain Clash. Clash basically means when you clash weapons with your enemy, deflecting most of incoming damage. Technically, it makes us a basic face tanking machine. So instead of trying to dodge and evade enemies, we can just spam attack button, and when we clash our swords, we will take almost no damage with this combination, with extra damage negotiation and also when clash is active. And then take 1 point down with Vitality +1, and then again Vitality +5. After getting over here, we get insane amount of extra health, and we can survive loads of early game pretty easily. So when you achieved this part, you can finally start investing in damage. And basically we're taking all the strength nodes over here, as well as this +5 strength over here. But I recommend starting with this branch by getting few points of strength, and then Sword Master. Sword Master is an insanely powerful tool. It gives your 5th attack of the sword ability to gain 2 stacks of Skyborn Might. Therefore, with one full combination, you can get 3 stacks total. That's pretty cool. And then basically we're following by taking all of this like stuff, but also whenever you can, you want to go downwards and get Crescent Arc, or take 2 points over here and get Sword Counter. You want to use it, it's just a useless skill, or at least I don't know how to use it correctly. In my experience, it's just useless, because we need to increase our damage even further with Benediction. You will unlock Benediction when you just find it, so it will happen somewhere in the game, and this build will focus on Bay. It's 3 disciplinary force, basically increase damage dealt if 3 discipline skills are known. Discipline skills is basically like skills, that's it. So when you know 3 discipline skills, you will have increased damage, that's it. For memory, I took the only one I found, I just bought it, and it's Ren, increased stamina recovery during Skyborn Might. Again, we will use our ability a lot, and it will replenish our stamina, so we can do it almost indefinitely. And last one is our Wisdom, of course, and it's Bay. Skyborn Might increases potency of discipline skills. Again, technically we're using only 2 like strategies with this build. We're doing basic attack followed by this charge attack, but quick when we got this magic, or we're using Crescent Moon to jump forward, backward, and like that. That's pretty crazy. And during all of this stuff, we will get more stamina regeneration. Now, for armors, just pick whatever you like, it doesn't matter. You need to actually get loads of armors in your arsenal, and then pick good armors depending on what boss you're facing most of the time. So if you're facing some corruption boss, just try to find good corruption armors, and that's it, and you will easily defeat them. For pendants, I still don't have a lot, but early talismans, early pendants works just great. Guard pendant will reduce damage taken while below a certain HP threshold, helps to like clinch bosses when we get low health, they get low health, so we can land final punch, final swing of our sword. Twin infant pendant, increased stamina recovery speed, pretty like self-explanatory. We're using loads of combinations, we need high stamina recovery if possible. And also I equipped jade pendant, Fiend Feeling. Yeah, it increases damage dealt against large enemies, pretty cool one, especially against big bosses and stuff like that, so we're dealing with them a lot easier. For temper, again, you don't need to investigate, you don't need to invent the wheel. Basically, first needle you will get, flame needle, works works great. You will just deal extra fire damage, extra burn build up. It works in Act 1 really nicely. However, after getting all the small nodes over here, you can actually invest in some of them 3 times. For example, in this agility, you can invest 3 times, into this agility. If you see this little 3 circles, you basically can invest in these nodes 3 times in a row. So after doing all of this, there's another path where we can go and where we can have fun. We can actually continue the Skyborn Call road to the left, get +5 vitality for more health, and energetic, really powerful one. You will recover a small amount of stamina upon gaining Skyborn Might. Again, with our combination, we're gaining Skyborn Might all the time, so recovering stamina at the same time helps us in the fight. But going downwards over here actually gives us Fury of Skyborn, so you can actually start using other spells if you want to. They will cost a lot less. Spells like Swift Strikes and Swift Draws. It's not spells actually, it's changes of your weapons, so you can use like dual sword setups and stuff like that. But there's a bunch of needles. I tested the Bone Needle Leech. I didn't like it. I don't see how I actually leeching health from enemies. I don't see how my health is replenishing. But there's Bone Needle Feathering. So basically it will give our weapons feathering damage. It's like magic damage, but different magic type. I guess some bosses will have protection from feathering, some have vulnerability, and that's it. And that's the main idea. Basically, after we scaled over here, and I'm around level 50 right now, and invested in all the points, we want to go somewhere next. And where to go? You can start going into Axes, but only if you're planning to do dual wielding styles and using axe as your secondary weapon. But if you're just going for raw stats, go for Spear, because Spear got strength and agility nodes, so you can go over here and get even more like just raw damage. However, of course you can go over here and get more like Skyborn stacks. That's really powerful stuff too, to get more ability slots. But again, even without finding Feathering Sword, you can use this on any other sword and get feathering damage on it. And then there's insanely big and cool part over here. So here we got feathering nodes that will increase our feathering damage, of course, as well as Corrosive Flurry, which is a really cool skill. I played with it like a little bit. Still, I like basic version a little bit more, but this Corrosive Flurry is really powerful one, especially if you scale it with nice feathering on your weapon. So technically around level 60 you can actually start playing Corrosive Flurry with Bone Needle Feathering and get like really powerful build. I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, Longsword is really crazy and cool build that you want to utilize a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video and watch other cool ones on the screen right now. Drop a like and subscribe for more.